Hello, hello. Oh, works. Very good. Whew, it's been a while. I'm very happy that IFA is actually providing this opportunity for the industry to finally meet again face to face. All of us have stuck at home for a long time, and the topic of home is actually very important, not to everybody here being at home now for a long time, but also to us at Mercku, where we want to give an insight now of the knowledge that we have that our homes will turn autonomous. And I want to give a little glimpse of how our future smart living can look like. I'm Erik. I'm leading Mercku, the Canadian company here in Europe. And before I start, I always like to do a little experiment. It's a little bit difficult right now because everybody is sitting quite separated from each other, which is good. But maybe also for everybody at home, the live stream here. So imagine you take out your phone and you open your Outlook, your Facebook Messenger, your WhatsApp. You open it on your phone, and then your phone, you just give it to the person to your right, unlocked as it is. So you trust the person next to you with your phone. And I think everybody right now must have this uncomfortable feeling is like, no, why should I give my unlocked phone to anybody else in the audience, right? I don't know what they're doing with me. Because the truth is, right now, an object, made of metal, plastic, is actually representing ourselves. It's our identity. We now have a digital identity, right? It's, at this moment, characterized maybe in your phone or in your laptop. But the truth is, our digital self will expand to many, many more areas in our life. All our social life, financial life, work life will be represented in not just phones, but cars, homes, workplaces, because technology is right now moving into every sector in our life. We are right now in the final wave of digitization. It started a few decades ago when, we were happy that instead of buying a CD, we could just click a button and download a song. That was awesome, right? Media turned digital. It's so easy to consume media. But since then, we've come such a long way. Many, many industries, banking sector, and basically everybody else is joining this wave now. And many thought, by the year 2030, we will have the full digitization, which has been accelerated now because of coronavirus to the year 2020. And the good thing is we are living right now in a very smart world. Just think about it. You have a computer in your pocket. We are driving our smart cars, go to work. We're working on our smartphones and smart laptops. We're getting a smart coffee where we don't have to press a button anymore. We just wake up, it's making us a coffee. We have nice lighting all around us. We get maybe a smart hairbrush. But the truth is, there's still one area which we believe is not smart. And that is our homes. We feel that the term smart home is actually not correct to use it as it is, because you cannot compare it with a mobile phone or a laptop. You have a lot of manual processes, and you have a lot of manual controls. Just looking at this picture, for example, really gets me a hard feeling in my heart, because we have a lot of these controls still existing in our homes. I mean, just look at this thing. Like, how can this represent a smart home? And this is still the reality all over the world. Our homes, compared to a phone, don't have a brain yet. Our phone, if you take your smartphone, right, is it Android or Apple, doesn't really matter. It usually has an app store, and it has a lot of standards where all of the applications on top, they agree on these standards to work together. So you take out your phone, you go to the app store, you click a button, and you add a new application to your phone. Imagine this in our home. So you go to your favorite retailer, you click a button, you order a new application for your home, let's say security system, and just think about the installation that you have to do. Right? It's not so seamless. The industry is very scattered right now, and our home, if we compare it with a smartphone, doesn't have a central unit where it's then controlling all of the other smart applications and devices. The good news is, compared to hundreds of years ago, our homes have already come a very long way. Before, we only regarded homes as, a secure roof over our head to protect us over rains, but we added a lot of sensors, and devices that are now helping us to do some autonomic decisions. For example, I know that the outside temperature is 30 degrees, then I turn up the regulation in my AC, my air conditioner. And all of these automations, they're increasingly working together, leading basically to this autonomy that we are seeing right now being developed, very advanced actually already in factories and in cars. So this same autonomy, we believe, will move into our homes because all of the new frontier technologies, like 5G, that's all in the media and news right now, right? But also technologies like Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E, blockchain, IoT, they're all moving now into our homes, and they're building now the foundation of the autonomous home, which we call the ABCs. Starting with the A, it's automation. Right? You need to automate processes, and the home needs to know how to automate it in order to provide the first step of the autonomy. The second thing is it only works if you have data. So the B standing here for the big data is the information about our habits, the workflows, all the devices, the external environments, and the user, right? The user habits. All of this information is basically feed into the ABCs of our home. And the last one is the computing. As I mentioned, our home right now doesn't have a computing unit, but there's a big movement in the industry to combining not just the cloud computing, where, I mean, that's amazing. You have a lot of very advanced software that's provided in cloud computing that we can use, but also it needs an edge computing, basically a local computing unit on the side that is helping to keep, for example, the data more secure and fast enough to process the different processes. With this insight, we actually know now that we cannot compare our homes with humans. We humans have only one nervous system, one brain, not very advanced sensing system like smelling, looking, but it's more like an octopus. An octopus has two nervous systems, and it has a lot of brain lobes and very advanced sensors to collect information all around them. And they have 9 brains to process all of this information and basically use it for their living. In terms of the home, it would be basically the autonomy to assist us and take over work. All of this has led to an explosion of applications and devices that are right now pouring in the industry. There are thousands of manufacturers and providers of these solutions. And they generally provide 6 different use cases or benefits for the users, right? It makes the home more secure. I suddenly know if somebody's ringing on the door, I can look at them, right? I see if I want to open the door or not. It's much more convenient and comfortable to control everything on your phone. You have better entertainment with sound systems that, for example, are linked all over the home. And the truth is, we will have hundreds of these helpers adding on top of this. We will have helpers that help us with education, that help us to keep, for example, our children busy when we have to go to work and children are stuck at home, which is the case right now. And these helpers will even join us in our sleep, right? There are already robots that are detecting your sleep habits and see if you have a good sleep or not. The interesting case study here is voice assistants. So what actually these voice assistants are doing is, number one, it's now much more accepted to have devices in our home because I understand, oh, with these devices, I can make my life easier by just controlling it by talking to them, right? Turn on the light, turn off the light, turn on the music. But what's even more important, these voice assistants have done 2 things. The first thing is they transformed our habits away from the age of touch. Actually, our next generation is called Generation V. V standing for voice. It's the generation voice. They already have much different habits than I do. Like I'm, over 30. I often don't understand what the next generation is doing. And the second thing is, if you look at this slide, Alexa had, 4 years ago, only 130 skills. With AI, the artificial intelligence behind it, is now at over 80,000 end of 2018, now at easily over 100,000. So AI is moving into our home. And this is accelerating a lot more automation. Why is this actually important? Why should we care about this? And this is a very crucial question. we need to understand what's the benefit of a smart home or an autonomous home. The first one is we are now all stuck at home, and our world is in a global care crisis. Our governments and healthcare providers have realized that they themselves cannot solve this. Like, we don't have enough people, it's not secure to send everybody home, it's impossible to track what's happening at home. So a smart home that can actually sense the vital signs or the condition of somebody at home through telehealth or digital health will help us to tackle this global care crisis. This is not just a problem of resources like manpower, but also money. Our population is aging. We have more and more elderly people or sick people that we do take care of, so technology will help us. The second one is resource scarcity. An autonomous home will help us to save electricity, it will help us to save time, and it can also help us to save money by automating and reducing actually other things that we are doing. Waste, for example, in our fridges. The last one is, and I feel that's something that not many people find valuable, but to me it's one of the most valuable things. It gives more time for us. Imagine you come home and your home is doing the food for you, it has cleaned the apartment, it's actually taking care of you instead of you taking care of your home. So in a survey where elderlies of over 50 in the UK were asked, what's the most important aspect in your life after your retirement? And the most important thing is they want to stay in your home as long as possible. And this is kind of the future that I want to provide to my grandparents, my parents, and even myself. That's the future I want to live in. I want to stay in my familiar environment where I feel safe. So these autonomous homes can actually provide this environment, taking care of us. And I want to show two technologies that can actually help move to the homes turning autonomous. The first one is wireless biosensing. Even here at the IFA conference right now, we have a lot of radio frequencies roaming around us. Wi-Fi signals, Bluetooth signals. These signals actually create something like a magic force field. And when we are moving through this force field, we can sense that. And we can sense it so accurately that we can not only detect motion and presence, but breathing and heartbeat. So you don't need to wear anything. You just put, for example, a light or a speaker, like in this case, you sit on a furniture or in a wheelchair, and those equipment will help you, like a check engine for your health, to measure your health. Right? So there's different levels of this biosensing. Just presence detection is pretty easy. Breathing is already quite difficult, but we are able at Mercku, for example, to even detect heartbeats. And just think about that, how crazy that sounds, right? So imagine you stand in front of a Wi-Fi router and it can see your heartbeat. Like, humans are just a bag of water, so the signal is going through us and it can measure millimeter changes in the environment, detecting basically the vital signs. So you can then give a light, for example, to your grandma, put it next to the bed, and you can feel safe that without her losing maybe any variables, you know about her condition. The second one is navigation. And the same as in the outside world, GPS was enabling so many new use cases, right? Now we're using GPS, for example, to call a car, so they can drive us somewhere, or order for food. All of these use cases were not able or possible before outdoor positioning. In the indoor world, we don't have much indoor positioning yet because of technical limitations. But again, you can use radio frequencies to track items and see how things are moving. And this will enable homes to do a lot of automation, right? So imagine you go into your home and then your house knows, okay, it's you, and it's turning on the light wherever you are walking. It can help you to find something. You can say, hey, Alexa, show me the way to my key, right? And then it can show you on your phone or via voice where you have lost something. But what we are also envisioning is, for example, predictive lighting. So your home knows you're moving, for example, into one direction, and then it helps you to turn the light on and off, or it can do the same with music, right? So it's much smarter in helping you to move seamless in your home. Again, the question is, why are we doing this? We always need to remind ourselves that of course, we have to make a business out of this, right? But we need to realize that even though consumers are buying all of these devices, what they really want is just to relax their life. They want to have ease of mind. They want to know they're secure. They want to know that everything is taken care of and that things are working. And I personally am very looking forward to this future. I want to provide this also to my parents and my grandparents to know that they are secure and taken care of. And if you want to learn more about this, we actually have a booth over there, booth 110. We're happy to talk more about this. Again, my name is Erik from Mercku, and thanks for having me.